You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual. Every time I'm crafting these verses, I make them lyrical. Yeah, they might can rap in a verse, but can't make them feel it though. Wanna reach your highest and healthiest place, where here you go. You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual. Every time I'm crafting these verses, I make them lyrical. Yeah, they might can rap in a verse, but can't make them feel it though. Wanna reach your highest and healthiest place, where here you go. You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual. Come reach your highest highs, a different kind of life. And if you living in the darkness, see the shining lights. I'm here to make sure that the lyrics is worthy, and Ace is here to help you prosper on your spiritual journey. If you got a goal, let you know you can go accomplish it. If you got a challenge your foe, you can go and conquer it. You can have a powerful soul overflow with confidence. Life can be so great once you have your spirit in line with it. Every time I'm crafting these verses, I make them lyrical. Yeah, they might can rap in a verse, but can't make them feel it though. Wanna reach your highest and healthiest place, where here you go. You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual. Every time I'm crafting these verses, I make them lyrical. Yeah, they might can rap in a verse, but can't make them feel it though. Wanna reach your highest and healthiest place, where here you go. You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual. Every time I'm crafting these verses, I make them lyrical. Yeah, they might can rap in a verse, but can't make them feel it though. Wanna reach your highest and healthiest place, where here you go. You are now watching the channel called Ace Spiritual.
What is up, y'all? Sure, the mic saying right. All right, we're good. Let me get some music pulled up. This is gonna be like a very quick stream, probably like 15 minutes, maybe. Just wanted to go live. I planned to go live earlier, but things kept coming up, so I didn't get the chance to actually do it, you know, but give me a second. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to go live a little bit earlier, I said, but things kept coming up and I just didn't get the chance to. I'm gonna try to go live earlier tomorrow, though. Hopefully. I'm thinking around like 12:30 Eastern time, which is the time I actually planned to go live today, but that didn't work out. I was having some urges earlier, not gonna lie. I was having some urges, but I'm good now, thankfully. Shout to Lust Prayer and God, man. I'm thinking about recording something real quick. I may do a I may start recording in a second, like while I'm live. I actually want to test it out, but I may do that to show y'all the blockers I currently use, I guess, because I actually use two of them for those of y'all who may need it. But yeah, I'll do some urges earlier today. But you know, they usually say, you know, urges are, I mean not urges, blockers are very helpful, but it's important to have self-control, self-discipline, which I agree with to an extent. I agree you should definitely have self-discipline, because let's say, I mean, I'm gonna show you all the blockers that I use, but let's say you go somewhere and the blockers aren't working, right? you're gonna go straight to the corn, like you go on a trip somewhere, or a solo trip or something, and then, go to Airbnb. Yeah, he's gonna go right to the corn. I made that mistake before, back in like 2021. I went on a solo trip to Orlando. I went twice. Well, I think it was like my second one. Oh my, I can't remember. I think it was the first one. I'm gonna go back in the views and check, but back to my views and check. But it was one of the two. It was either the first, second one, and it wasn't right away. But I think like the second or third day I was there, the urge got to me, and I didn't have the blockers. So, you know what I'm saying, end up relapsing. And that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse saying like, oh, it was the not having blockers that was the reason. I'm just saying like, self-discipline is what keeps you going even when those stuff stops working. It's the stuff that kept me going whenever the blocker stopped working on my router for some reason, and all that stuff. But let me quickly, I have my keyboard over here because I still didn't get that tiny keyboard. No, not that. No. I don't remember all that I use. So it's this. This, my bad, I'm trying to show y'all a better way to. And I don't expect anybody to really be in this live like that because I literally went live randomly. Usually I put it ahead of time and stuff, but that's interesting. There's a new way to block that stuff on the iPhone. I'm gonna look into that. But let me see. It's actually interesting. I should put these links in the description. But I'll probably just show you on my phone, honestly. But this is a website that I just found. I'll show you real quick. It's a site right here because I was just pulling it up to show y'all like just pictures of the screen time blocker, the screen time window setting in iPhone, but it's actually there's actually a lot more ways to block an iPhone now, which is actually interesting. I'm gonna share this in the Telegram, but it's interesting. Send this there. I'm gonna go ahead and post this in the Telegram, and then the Discord, and of course will be in the description when I record the video and stuff. But where's the page I'm looking for? But okay, this might be it. I'm getting somewhere. I would pull up my actual router settings, but it has like my IP and all that stuff on there, and obviously I don't want to put that out there, so. I cannot find. I cannot find the page I'm looking for. Okay, I guess it's close enough. All right. Alright, I'm gonna start recording. I've been planning to make this for a while. Let's just show y'all what I currently use and stuff. But yeah, that's the best ways, I guess. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, what's up, y'all? So I'm currently recording this while I'm streaming. I'm gonna see how this is because it's my first time actually recording while streaming, so we're gonna see how this goes and stuff like that. But I just wanted to quickly show y'all the blockers that I currently use. Now, let me say this, right? When it comes to, you know, NoFap and retention, stuff like that, it should definitely be a self-disciplined practice, right? To where you stop yourself from looking at stuff, but it doesn't hurt to have blockers so that when you have those very, 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 very tough days, you have those safeguards so you don't start peeking at stuff, start typing keywords and you know, stuff like that, and then you start seeing some content. So I'm gonna show you exactly pretty much what I use. I'm not gonna show y'all the exact settings and everything because the stuff that I have, if I show exactly what I have, it might show some information that's like my IP and stuff like that, which I want to put up, obviously. So I'm just gonna show y'all pretty much the basics of like what I have up. So all right, so those y'all in the stream, y'all seen this live, but those of you watching the recording, y'all see this later on. So this is the first one I use. This is the main one, actually. This is a very important one. This is OpenDNS, right? So it's a very, 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 very helpful blocker, right? It pretty much, when you pretty much have your own like DNS server that it gives you, or it's like a whole kind of setup actually. You create an account, it gets your home internet IP, and you're able to, you know, block certain things in the settings, And once you set that DNS server 1 and 2 on your router settings, it connects to that, and then whatever you put on here, it blocks for all your devices, right? So let me go here. So this right here, I can't show you all the exact settings, so I pulled up as close as I can to kind of show you how it works. But there's a page right here. You can find just like a bunch of different routers, you know. You can find which router you have or what the closest one you have here, and they can use these guides to help you set it up. But pretty much how it works is, this is a test. This is a test page right here, right? As long as you're using OpenDNS, this website right here is obviously blocked, right? So if you're using OpenDNS, if you try to open this, it's not going to load. I'm going to show you exactly what happens when you try to load. So once you set up OpenDNS, right, and you go to this little page right here when you set it up, again, this is not my settings or anything like that. It's just literally on their support website. So literally, I just pulled this up to show y'all as close as I could, right? So it's going to have your home IP or whatever. That's why I'm not showing y'all of mine, right? It's going to have your home IP, and it's going to have the web content filtering page, right? So what you do is you go to, you can either use one of these levels here. I personally don't, because I want to block, because at the end of the day, this is going on the router, right? This is going on the router. So whatever devices connect to my home Wi-Fi will get blocked, whatever certain websites are blocked, right? So obviously with that, I don't want to cause any issues with anyone else using websites that aren't the corn sites, but maybe blocked because they're considered like kind of risky. You know what I'm saying? So I personally don't use any of these filtering levels. I'd rather use the custom, right? So when you go into custom, unfortunately I don't have it pulled up here because I couldn't find an actual image of it. When you go to custom, it's gonna have a bunch of different categories, a bunch of different categories, right? And when you go to custom, and you see all the categories, it's gonna be like you choose which ones you want to block. Obviously, you pick the corn, right? Because corn is one of those categories, right? You make sure to block that, right? And then something I learned recently, because I've had OpenDNS in my router for years, right? Even when I had multiple routers, like, you know, routers stopped working, got a new one, stuff like that. I use OpenDNS for a couple years now, right? And something I always realize is that if I use something like Touch VPN, right, or any VPN that you can use on, you know what I'm saying, your browser, right? You can download it from the Chrome store, whatever the case may be. The VPN will bypass the OpenDNS settings, right? It's obviously something you don't want. You don't want to bypass it, right? And that's something where I would struggle with. You know, like I would, let's say I'm just on YouTube, right? And I'm watching a certain YouTuber, and they're talking about this certain person got leaked, right? They got their stuff leaked, right? I'd be like, ooh, I'm kind of curious, right? So like, I'll start peeking. I'll turn on the VPN and start peeking a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that was always an issue. And I found out recently, like literally last week, how to block that, right? So pretty much in the categories, you're going to see something on the right that says proxy, right? It says proxy. And what you want to do is check that off. So what I have checked off are the corn and the proxy, right? I make sure both those checked off. And then right here, actually, you see this little box right here. It says manage individual domains, right? And here it says always block. I have a list. I have like a huge list of the corn sites that I have on this list. Even though the corn category here is really good to where it blocks out majority of it, there were a couple ones that you know, I ended up finding was working, so I manually add those in there, right? I mean, I want to give them out, but like, you know, there's pretty much, just think of like the main stuff, like the main websites, the leaks sites and stuff like that, you know, like just think of it. Obviously I'm not going to give it out because I want to give out urges y'all go on the sites and You know what I'm saying? But just kind of think about that. Kind of think of the main sites, and that's pretty much what I have on there, right? So have that, and pretty much once it's set up, once you try to access any of those corn sites, right? This happens. This happens. This pops up right here saying this site is blocked, right? But it wouldn't say this, right? This is saying this because this is the test website. This is what they put on there so to make sure that OpenDS is working, right? But it will say something about Bluetooth administrative settings. I forgot exactly what it says, but it says like admin settings, something like that, right? And then it would say site due to following categories, and then it would say corn, right? So that's pretty much what happens when you try to access it on any device on your route, on your home Wi-Fi, once you set up OpenDNS, right? All right, now the other thing that I use that I found out recently, I actually found this recently, is this right here. Now, I only recommend doing this if you have some sort of computer knowledge. This is very easy to follow, but I'm just putting it out there. I only recommend it if you have some sort of computer knowledge. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, I worked IT. I have a degree in game programming, so I know about computer stuff like that. Y'all know me, so it's very easy for me to do. But it's just really easy in general. Like it literally goes you step by step on how to do it. But I'm just putting the warning out there. I'd watch a video. You know what I'm saying? I'd watch a video on YouTube or something like that, just so you can see and be like, okay, I could do this. Because I don't want y'all to try something. It doesn't, like, y'all mess something up and then like it comes sort of. I'm just saying, I recommend it if you're some sort of computer knowledge, right? But pretty much, this blocks those sites on the operating system level, right? As y'all know, on my game PC, which I'm currently on right now, I have both Linux, which I'm on right now. I'm on Linux, Papa West specifically, and I have Windows, right? So I actually did it on both sides. I followed this to add the host file on Windows, and then I did it on Linux. I did it on both, right? I'm not gonna show y'all the example of that, but pretty much when you try to load any of those sites, because this right here actually has the host file in this has pretty much every single site, it's like pages of websites, right? Because it's like a community thing. Like people have come on here, like this person, I'm not gonna say the name, I almost said it, right? But Skywalker, right? They made it, right? And then other people have contributed to it and added, like, say, like, oh, you missed these, so they got added, right? And the last update was 7 months ago, so pretty much it's up to date. It's the latest, right? And pretty much, if you try to access any of those websites on the operating system after doing this, it won't load. It just won't load. You know what I'm saying? Also forgot to say, when you enable proxy on OpenDNS and you try to load anything, it won't load. Pretty much once OpenDNS recognizes you're using a VPN, it'll basically give you no internet. It will not give you any internet. Nothing will load until you talk to VPN. So I have to say that part. Alright. So that's that, right? Now the last thing. For my Android users, I'm sorry, I don't have an Android anymore. I mean, I had one a couple years ago, but I don't have it anymore, so I can't really show y'all blockers on there. But the thing about Android is very easy to get blockers because Android is more open than iPhone, so you know what I'm saying. But this is what I've used on. I've always used an iPhone, right? Make sure I ain't showing nothing, man, because of my phone. All right, so in settings, you want to go, and I apologize, I tried to find like a better image on Google or something like that, but I couldn't for some reason. But this is screen time settings, right? If you go to settings, go to screen time, you go here. This is the main settings, right? What you want to do is go to content and privacy restrictions, right? Now I'm on iOS 18.1, so if you have iOS 17 or something like that, it may look a little different, but it's pretty much the same thing. All right. On the top, you're gonna see App Store, Media, Web, and Games, right? You go into that. All right, and then in the middle you're gonna see web content, right? By default, it's gonna say unrestricted, right? So when you go on there, it's gonna say unrestricted. All right. Now it's gonna say a couple things, right? Limit adult websites, unrestricted, and only approved websites, right? So what I do and what you want to do is go to limit adult websites, right? All right, and then once you do that, I already have it on limit adult websites. I can't switch it back to unrestricted and switch it back to show y'all because I have a passcode on there right now. I locked myself out of the settings for obvious reasons. But you do that, right? And what you want to do is go back to the main settings of screen time. Go back to main settings. And then you're going to see something down here that says, it's going to say use screen time passcode. For me, it says change because I have one set currently. So one I can't remember. But you want to press what says use screen time passcode, right? Once you do that, it's going to make you create a passcode. What I usually do is I put in the code without looking at the screen and can actually confirm it. So try to remember a little bit of what the hand positions you put, right? That's usually I try to look up and I just put the passcode in twice. And then it's going to say, oh, enter your Apple ID to in case you forget the password, right? You can skip that. Like, you can skip it. For some reason, this is why I say the self-discipline, right? Because for some reason, Apple allows it so that you can reset the passcode just by putting in your Apple ID, email, and password. So that takes a little bit of self-discipline, but it's more of like if you try to peek, right? If you try to peek at the websites, it won't load type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it won't. Like if you wake up in the morning getting like urgent stuff like that, it won't let you load anything. So that's pretty much that. But as I pulled this up to look for some images to show you with screen time, I actually found this website. Now, I did not try this yet. I found this literally while I was on stream. I did not try this yet. But there's a page that was updated in September on ways to block on iPhone, right? I have not gone through and tried this yet, but apparently there's a good amount of things you can do now because, as I said, you can easily go in there and reset the passcode just by putting your Apple ID password, right? So these are other ways to block it. I did not try it yet. I'm telling you, I did not try it yet. I just saw it. It looks very interesting, right? It looks very interesting. So I'm going to put the link in the description. Again, I did not try it yet, right? I did not try it. But I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it for yourself. If you read through it, it seems like it might be helpful. Y'all can try it. I'm going to read through it after recording, after stream. I'm going to try it. And if it's good, I'll let y'all know. I'll let y'all know that's good, right? All right. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show y'all my current blocker setups in case y'all need some assistance with setting up your own blockers and stuff like that. Again, with OpenDNS, you want to find your router right on that little list where it says setup, get started, whatever. Follow the directions to get that set up, all that stuff, man. And also for OpenDNS, when I create the account, I use an email that I don't really use often. I'm not signed into this email on other devices. All right, I'm not signed into it. In order to access it, this email address specifically, I have to reset the password every time. So I have to go through. I made it super difficult for me. So I have to reset the password. I have to verify myself, and then I have to go in there. There's an alternative email address in that email that I don't remember off the top of my head. I had to go in there and see it and then copy it. And then in OpenDNS, I had to reset the password from there because I literally, I don't save the password for either of them. So I have to go in OpenDNS, reset the password with that same alternate email address, and It's like a whole process. So I make it very difficult for myself to get back into it. I can, worst case scenario, I made it so that if an emergency happens, I need to access the settings, I can get into it. But I made it so tedious that if I'm going into it because I have some urges, I give up because it's like it's too much work for me to actually go in there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Hopefully this helps. I'll put the links in the description and stuff like that. And I'll catch y'all next one. Brother Aaron out. Peace. Alright, y'all. So that's pretty much. I'm gonna end the stream. I just wanted to kind of chop up with y'all for a little bit. Got the recording out the way. And yeah, I said I had the urges earlier, but they went away, so I'm pretty much straight now. But yeah, man. Again, I didn't expect anyone to come in the chat because I literally did this out the blue. I literally did this out the blue. But I will schedule a stream for tomorrow for like around 12:30. Hopefully nothing comes up where that stops me from going live at 12:30, but we'll see. But with that being said, I will catch y'all later. Your brother Aaron out. Peace. Also, Discord, Telegram, link in the description. Y'all know I got shout out every time, man. Let me get it pulled up actually. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, both of these link in the description. Make sure to join, man. If y'all want accountability, if you need any accountability, motivation, and stuff like that, or if you just want to chat with like-minded men, got both of those in the description, man. Anyways, peace.